All right, third graders, this winter birch tree project is a one-day project. It has 3 steps. So, first step, we are going to make some birch trees on a white sheet of paper. So, at your tables, you will have 2 white sheets. First one is for the birch trees. We are going to be painting today with those little pieces of tag board. So, I'm actually going to use my paper horizontal, and I am going to try to fit about 6 birch trees on this paper. I only will use about 4 in my final project, but just in case some don't turn out. Tag board. I am going to dip the tag board in the black paint. So I have a nice little edge of black on that cardboard. I am going to stand it up fairly tall, and I am going to push down my paper and just make a little pull. I'm going to line it up with where I just left off. I'm going to make a little pull. I'm trying to do this all the way up the paper so I get a nice line on one side. Now I'm going to do the other side of the tree. So I like to turn my paper for this. I'm going to go kind of a little space away, but I'm pulling in. Line it up, pull in. I have not gotten any more paint on this tag board. I'm going to go ahead and do my second tree and see if I need any more paint or if I'm good. I'm going to leave a little space because we are going to have to cut these out. Yeah, I kind of like the look of that one better. It's a little softer, not as much black paint. I'm going to turn my tag board because I have some paint on this side. Awesome, there's one line. So you can make them wider, or you can make them skinny trees. Just pulling in. Awesome, that one got a little crooked, but hey, trees do that. Still have not gotten any more paint. I'm pushing a little bit harder on this tag board. Now I need a little more paint, so I'm just doing some little dabs in there. So I'm going to continue this to get 6 birch trees, and then I'm just going to set this aside by my table, on the floor, by my stool, somewhere where it's not going to get bumped, to dry. So I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to do a couple more. All right, third graders, I'm on to the second part for today, making the sky background out of chalk. So any colors work. You can have a nighttime sky. You can have a sunlight. You can have it getting to be dusk out when the sun is setting. I'm going to go ahead and try to use some brighter colors today. I'm going to start with the side of the chalk. This side is clean. If you have a piece of chalk that has some dirt in it, not a big deal, because we are going to blend at least 2 colors together. So I'm thinking of like sunrise. I have orange. I might see some yellow. So I'm just going right on top of each other. And how about even a little bit of purple? Really a little bit, just kind of all over. Now I'm going to rub these colors together. And the cool part is, if you don't like the way it looks, just keep adding color. Chalk is messy. I am not going to blow this at anybody. I'm just going to kind of tap it down. And I'm going to add some more yellow on top. So my goal is just to fill this paper in with some color, nice and dark. Rubbing it really helps to get those colors blended together. At this point, you will want to tap your paper and clean up your spot. So use the rag at your table, wash your hands, do whatever you need to get your work area clean so we can put this all together. Alright, now that my table area is clean, got my chalk piece back, I have started to cut out my birch trees. So what that means is I'm going to kind of have a pattern of a tree, and then this next one's going to be some scraps I don't need. And I have another tree. You want to have at least 4 trees on your finished project today. If you want to use all of them that you made, you can. It's just going to be a little bit fuller. So I've got at least 5 trees cut out there. At your table spots, you will also find some torn paper for the bottom. So I'm going to start by putting some glue on that torn white piece. Hopefully I can find a glue bottle that works. This one looks like it's good. So I'm going to put glue all over. Important spacing today. Make sure that snow touches the bottom of your paper. You don't want any trees looking like they're floating. Now, the birch trees. Here's the cool part. You can have some touch the bottom, or you can slide them up a little bit and create some space and some depth. You can have them close together. Make that one look like it's behind. Bring some to the bottom of the paper. Maybe some up here. And I might end one right on the side there. So when I glue, I'm just going to flip them over, put a little line of glue, put them back down. Now as I'm gluing these, I'm seeing I'm going to have to do some trimming because they're hanging off the top of the paper and that does not look real. So as soon as I get these all glued on, I'm going to flip my paper over and just trim any of those sides I see. So flipping it over, and I did color on the back of this one on accident. So I'm just going to trim off those extra pieces. And there you have it. 2 last steps. A little bit of a shadow will make your trees look a little realistic. I'm trying to find a black piece of chalk. Found a tiny little one. I might make just a line going diagonal and smear it a little bit to make it look like that sun is creating a shadow on this side. Notice how all my lines are going the same way. I would not see shadows crisscrossing as the sun is setting. So, last step. Mrs. Cleary has black papers with your name tag on them. Your job with clean hands is to glue your finished project in the middle of that black piece of paper so you have a nice border and get it in the drying rack.